Hey guys, it's Tana. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I do fun makeup tutorials, makeup looks, and whatever y'all want to see. And bruh, what's happening with my brain today? Y'all already know to hit that like button, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can join my journey on this YouTube channel. And also, last thing, don't forget to hit that post notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Now for today's video, we will be doing a fun fall look, because since starting, whenever fall started, October. Fall is here. It is October season. It is spooky season. So, y'all be ready for some looks, some fun looks and tutorials to come out because I am so excited. But also for last week, I apologize for not uploading a new video because last week I was wiped. Literally, I had no time to do anything. But I am back and better than ever, and yeah. Let's go. Yeah. So, anyways, today we'll be doing a fun fall smoky eye, and I'm super excited to see how it looks. So, let's get right into this video. Okay, so y'all already know that I'm starting with primer. I'm going in with my Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer, and I'm putting this all over my face. And we are just rubbing that into the skin. Alright, so my face is primed and ready to go, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. So I'm going to do my concealer before I do my foundation, because I recently found out that it looks better on my skin. So I'm just going in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair Beige, and I'm just putting in all of the spots I conceal: under eyes, forehead, nose, Cupid's bow, and chin. And I'm just going to use a sponge to blend it out. Okay, now that the concealer is on, I'm just going to take my foundation. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation in the shade 122. And I'm just going to put this all over my face, including where I put the concealer, because the concealer is really bright, so it just like covers it a little bit. And I'm just taking my sponge, I'm blending it all over the skin. So, as you can see, my face is still like looking normal, and it doesn't just look like one color. You can still see that my under eyes are like concealed and brighter than the rest of my face. So now it is time for powder. And as always, I'm using my Juvia's Place Loose Setting Powder in White Sands. Now I'm going to be using the exact same sponge that I use all the time, but instead of just putting it onto the skin, I'm going to press it into the skin until it goes away, if that makes sense. I don't really know if it makes sense in my head, but I don't really know how to explain it. So I'm going to do it for y'all, and yeah, you'll be able to see what I do. So I just picked up this much on my little sponge here, and I am just pressing it right in like this. We're also pressing it wherever we put concealer. Now we are just going to take my big fluffy brush and wipe away any excess powder. So now the first part of the face is done, and we are going to move on to eyebrows. I am using my go-to Morphe Brow Cream in the shade Hazelnut, and I'm just going to brush through my brow hairs, making sure everything's in place before I put product on them. Now I am just lining the I'm lining underneath my brow. Once you have lined your the bottom of your brow, you can line the top one. But you're not going to start at the front, you're going to start a little bit behind. Okay, so both eyes are lined. Now I'm just going to fill in. So now that both are filled, I did stop about right here, so I still have the front of the brow to do, but I'm just going to blend the front of the brow and then blend the rest of the brow to make sure all of the hairs are still in place. Now that we're done filling in, we are going to set these brows. Beautiful. Now it's time to move on to the eyes. So for today, the eyeshadow palette I'll be using is the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe, and we're just going to create a soft-ish smoky eye. I like using this palette because there's a lot of neutral colors in here, and it's just very easy to use. So let me show y'all the inside of the palette. See, we have a bunch of neutrals and golds, and there's a little section of pinks and mauves over here, and then we got this section with blues, greens, and purples, but it's mainly right here is just a bunch of neutrals, which really calls a smoky eye for me. So with that being said, okay, I'm a tad upset because I had to I had a football game to go to for a drill team, and I put all of my stuff in my makeup bag, and now there is concealer on my brushes, and I'm a tad upset. But we're gonna clean them after this, because that's messed up. Okay, so we're going to work from the bottom of our eye and work our way up, because smoky eyes, that's how they work best. You put the darker colors and you blend them. Yes. So we're not going to go in with black, because black can be a dangerous color when being used on the eyes. So we're going to go close to the black with this color right here. Yeah, I'm just going to put that right above my lash line, like right where I would put some eyeliner. And if y'all want to, you can wing it out. I might wing it out just a tad. And it is a little bit thicker towards the end because we want it to like be darker on the outer portion of your eye. And I want the inner portion of the eye to be like lighter. So we'll use like a normal white light shade or whatever, and it'll like get darker. So I'm only bringing this in to like right here, like 2/3 in. Once that is done, now I'm going in, that is not the right brush. I'm going in with the tapered brush that I was going to use. And I'm gonna go into this shade right here. And I'm just going to blend out that color that we used. Okay, now we're going to stop doing this and move on to the crease. And I'm going to use this super big blending brush. I'm going to dip into, I'll dip into this shade right here. This shade right here, and I'm going to keep it like up. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Like right above my crease. Okay, now I'm going in with a smaller blending brush, and I'm going into this shade right here, and I'm putting that right into my crease. And if you want to, you can bring this shade down onto your lid as well. Now I'm going in with this flat brush right here, and I'm just gonna go in with this color right here. Oh, y'all can't really see that right here. And I'm just going to put that into, like, right in between, like right here, so like the crease, and then where I put the bottom shades. Also, yes, I am aware that this brush has concealer on it. Now I'm just taking that second blending brush and blending all of the colors together. I'm going in with this tapered blending brush and going in with that second brown that we used at the very beginning, and I'm just going to blend the two shades together. Again, just taking that super small brush, and with that first brown shade we used that's almost black, I'm stamping it again, and then I'll use that tapered brush to blend it out. Just like that. Look at that. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do, I want there to be like shimmer in the front. Like, I thought I wanted to be like just a plain matte color, but I think I want a little bit of shimmer to this. So I'm going in with this my tiny little my shimmer brush, or whatever you want to call it. I think I'm going to go in with this shade right here, the very first one in the palette. I can't decide that or the one next to it. I'll just go in with the first one and see how I like it, and we'll see how it goes. I'm also putting this in my inner corner. Now I'm just taking that tapered blending brush and blending the shimmers with the mattes. Beautiful. Now we can't forget the lower lash line because that would be upsetting. So we're taking that small brush and going over with that first brown and keeping it in the outer portion of the lower lash line. Now with that tapered blending brush again, going in with that second brown and blending it out. Now going in with the flat brush, in with the lighter brown. That looks really dark, but we're going to use the second big blending brush and blend everything. Just like that. Yes, I'm so excited. I love smoky eyes. So that was a long process, I know, but you can do it for the other eye. I know you can. But I will be going off camera to do the other eye and lashes. I will be right back. Alright guys, so eyes and lashes are on, and I love this smoky eye. It's super like, yeah. But the lashes are kind of getting on my nerves, like the inner corners will not stay in. So if you are a lash expert, you have any suggestions for me, that would be great. I love to hear from y'all. Anyways, now we're moving on to the rest of the face, and now it is time for bronzer. I will be using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is their light bronzer. I'm just going to stamp this onto my cheekbones, my forehead, my jawline, and a little bit on my nose. Okay, now it is time for blush, and I will be using the blush from my Pacifica Beauty blush and bronzer duo. This is the, I'm pretty sure this is Sunset, and then this is Desert. So this is the Sunset Matte Blush. And I will be popping this on the cheek, I will be popping this on my cheeks and my nose. Ugh. Our last thing is highlighter. This could go with a gold highlighter, but I put this white shimmer on my eyes. So, what could be better than putting some white highlighter? So, I will grab my palette and be right back. So, I'm going to be using my Sugar Glow Kit by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot that this is broken. So we're going to be very, very careful. Because I forgot my Marshmellow. Hold on, let me see if I can hold it up. Yeah, my Marshmellow shade is broken. So we are going to be very careful when applying this because I am sad that it broke. We're just going to put this on the cheekbones. We're going to take this small shimmery brush and put some down the bridge of our nose. and the tip. Can't forget the tip of your nose, guys. Oh, we also can't forget our brow bone because we already did our inner corner. Okay. Everything is done. Now we have 2 steps left. That is lips and setting spray. So for lips, I'm going to go in with like a darker red. This one is perfect. So I'm going in with my Live Glam. This was one of the July ones. I think it was 2019. And it is called Eau de Pomme. And it's super cute. Like, it's like the perfect red shade. Because red is like the perfect lip for fall. You can't change my mind. Red is the perfect lip for fall. Yes. So we're just gonna pop this on the lips, and yeah. Then we will be almost done. Okay, there was a tad mess up, but it's all good. So now the last step is setting spray. Alright guys, this is the final look. I hope you all enjoyed watching this smoky eye fall makeup tutorial. And if you did enjoy it, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up because it's greatly appreciated. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join my journey on this YouTube channel. And don't forget to hit, oh my goodness, I can't speak. Don't forget to hit that post notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!